Hello, this is my June 2026 garden update. This is from the beginning of June. Here is a new semi-dwarf peach tree we planted about a week ago, a couple days ago. Here is our pink shed, and let's take a look at the vegetable garden. Here you see the outside of the vegetable garden. This garden is about a year old in total in terms of the fence and everything. Here is the front of the garden where I've planted various flower seeds. These flower boxes wrap all the way around the garden. Those seeds were planted anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks ago. Let's get into the garden. Here's my frog welcome sign. And looking to the left, as soon as you walk in, that's some strawberries in a metal pot that I've had for several years. And here's a blueberry bush that is about a year old. It's not doing the best, it's still pretty small, but we'll see how it does. In our first box here, we have some various peppers. These are some cauliflower plants in the back. They look like they're doing quite well. They're getting really big really quickly. And then moving on to our second box, we have some celery plants in the front there, a pepper, and then some romaine lettuce plants in the back, which also are getting pretty big pretty quickly with a cabbage guy there, and an eggplant. And these are my carrots. That back row there, I did plant as transplants from a garden shop. I heard carrots don't transplant well, so we'll see how they do, but they look good. The greens look good. And then this first and middle row are from seeds. And as you see, I have marigolds kind of scattered all around the garden to try to help with bugs. These are my asparagus. Those ones in the middle that are very tall are about a year old. The rest I mostly planted this year from roots and sometimes plants in pots. And then an eggplant, some pepper plants, and this is my frog under a mushroom, and this is my turtle guy. These are some potatoes that I'm trying different ways of growing. This one is in a laundry basket filled with the top with layers of hay and dirt and potatoes planted throughout. Theoretically, they're supposed to come out the sides, which you can see they're starting to do. And this one is potatoes in a laundry basket with just a layer of dirt and straw at the bottom, and then we'll keep filling that up with dirt. These are some zinnia seeds that I planted 2 weeks ago. They're looking quite full and good. There are my three ants, and these are sweet potato vines with some onion and basil mixed in. But what you see around the outside are the starts of sweet potato vines that are around the perimeter, and some of them are in the middle as well. So those should all vine up along that trellis very nicely. And here are some random tomato plants that I could not fit in my garden because I bought too many. Here's a very sad hot hydrangea. We'll try to see if we can save that. And then these are small mini pumpkins that I planted from seeds coming up nicely. Theoretically, there should be a rose lily coming up there, 3 of them actually, but I don't see any coming up, so we'll see how that goes. And then ideally, the pumpkins will vine up around the trellis. And again, more tomatoes that I couldn't fit in the rest of my garden. Another very hot hydrangea that needs water. I've put some soil acidifier on them to try to turn them blue, so we'll see. And here are more sweet potatoes on the opposite side of the garden, just all along the perimeter, some in the middle, and those should grow around that trellis. Uh-oh, my bumblebee fell over. Try to set him up. Oh, there he goes. Another tomato plant. And here I have planted some double snapdragon seeds about a week and a half to 2 weeks ago, and they're starting to come up, which I'm very excited about. Double snapdragons are beautiful and they have been quite hard for me to grow, so we will see how those go, but I'm excited they're at least coming up. I got those from Eden Brothers online. And here are some of my herb plots. We have some thyme, a very cute little cow, rosemary, and then sage there in the back. Some tiny onion seeds coming up for green onions. A very cute pink pig. Some oregano there on the right. Some more sage in the back, basil, some curled parsley next to the basil, and then some more oregano, a random pepper plant again, and some rosemary. And again, I have some random onions and etc. scattered around. Here is a flower pot that is temporarily displaced while we put some more blocks in. And same thing here. Some snapdragons in there and another herb garden bed. There is some dill. It smells very strong. It is doing very good. I just picked the little flowers off the top there to help the leaves expand. Some more sage and curled parsley here in the front. Some chives back there. This is their first year. And then some lavender here. I've never grown lavender before, so we'll see how that goes. It smells very good. And here we have some corn stalks. Oops, my little bug fell. Let's set him back up. I have never successfully grown an ear of corn that has been edible, so let's see how this goes this year. There's some corn guys in there, another one hiding in there, and then two right there in the back. We have lots of corn guys, one corn girl. Here we have some cucumbers growing in there. This right here is a sugar snap vine, and then some cucamelons as well. They're all gonna vine up and we'll see how those go. I am starting to get some sugar snaps now, which are very good fresh if you've never had them. Also, cucamelons are very interesting. I would recommend trying them if you've never had one. In the middle there, we have some potatoes, and then we have some more sugar snap peas, some more cucumbers, and they should vine around this trellis right here with the potatoes in the middle. Here we have some more corn stalks, some eggplants, which are absolutely getting eaten alive by bugs. So we'll see if we can figure that one out. And then again, some more marigolds scattered around. There's those bug bites on those eggplants. And then here we have our big trellis in the middle, which, as you can see, has some sugar snaps with very small sugar snap peas right there that are still growing. And then ideally, once those finish vining and they're not producing anymore, then those cucumbers will start growing up around it. Here's some more sugar snaps. And then going this way back towards the front of the garden right here, we start our tomato section. We have lots and lots of tomatoes growing of all kinds of different varieties. Last year we had a huge issue with blossom end rot, so we put a lot of lime in the soil. We'll see how that goes this year. A lot of our tomatoes were not even edible last year from it, but we've heard if you add some lime to the soil and get that calcium level up, hopefully they do better this year. Tomatoes, we have lots of basil and marigolds planted around the tomatoes to try to keep those bugs away. And then again, random pepper plants on the ends that couldn't fit anywhere else. I got these very nice, colorful tomato cages from Ace Hardware. I like them a lot. And then there's that trellis again. More tomatoes on this side. Lots of different varieties here. And you can see those basils in the corner of most of the plots, as well as those marigolds right there. Here's a bed with pepper plants. Again, all kinds of different varieties, some banana peppers, bell peppers. And again, I have those onions kind of scattered throughout as well. In addition to trying to grow an edible ear of corn, my other goal this year is to grow an onion bulb. I've never been able to do that successfully, but I think I discovered that I was planting them too deep. So we'll see how that goes. Over here, again, kind of the same thing along the trellis here. We have cucumber plants, some sugar snaps right here, more cucumber plants on the other side. Here we have some more pepper plants. A lot of them are starting to have buds, and even some of them are starting to have some peppers. I've heard that sometimes you should cut the tops off. I haven't tried that. I've tried it on a couple this year, so we'll see how that goes. Here's some more onion plants and a couple of onion guys. And then this is my strawberry patch. Those big strawberry plants in the middle are from last year, and these smaller ones on the outside are from this year. We have gotten several strawberries this year to eat, and there's some more under here that I have not picked quite yet. I like those a lot. Fresh strawberries are amazing compared to store-bought strawberries. Coming to our potato trench. It's not so much a trench anymore. These were planted about 2 to 4 weeks ago. They were started in a trench, and then we put some dirt and hay over them. For most potatoes, you want to keep covering them with dirt, and we did a mixture of dirt and hay to keep it loose, and they will keep producing potatoes all the way up. So we've kind of filled in that trench, and we'll need to keep mounding up potatoes and dirt there. That is another blueberry plant. It's doing a little bit better than the other one. It has quite a few blueberries on it. And here we are back to some of those peppers, some more tomato plants here. These are green onion seeds, individual onions as well. Some of those onions were planted from bulbs, the bigger ones at least. Another random pepper plant. As you can see, it's getting buds, which will turn into peppers. And then a closer look at my blueberry bush over here. You can see it has quite a few blueberries on it. This is the second year for this blueberry bush. Now we're coming back to the front of the garden. Some more tomato plants up here at front. We have some mint plants in there to help keep the bugs away as well, right here. You can see all those green onions. Those are ready for harvesting. The ones that are close together we use as green onions in terms of eating to eat the tops of. And then the ones that are individual are the ones I'm trying to grow full onion bulbs out of. Again, we'll see how that goes. We're working on getting the garden filled with these blocks. It is much easier to take care of with these blocks. And then here is a bed of pepper plants and a little tomato guy. And here's our first pepper of the year. Not quite ready, but it's doing very well. And this is a little snail guy. And then you can see, I believe these are super chili peppers. So they're probably going to be very hot. All right, let's switch over here and I'll show you guys the outside of my garden. So these are the flower beds, mostly seeds right now, so not too exciting. Those are seashell cosmos and daydream cosmos mixed. These are some 4 o'clock seeds and some other random seeds in there. Not a lot coming up in there. These are some tiger lilies. This is their first year. Some random seeds in front of them. I think they were zinnias, but we'll see when they come up. I kind of just started throwing things down. I believe these are also zinnias, and you can see those zinnias in that brown flower box as well behind there inside the garden. These are all various sunflowers. Most of them are mixes, some of them are taller ones in the back, theoretically. We'll see what comes up. And back here we have our pumpkin and our watermelon patch. This is a watermelon I planted as a plant from a garden center. Didn't look great. We'll see how that goes. I have some seeds in here. Not much is really coming up. We'll see if anything comes up there. They're pumpkin seeds. These are dill Atlantic giants that I got from a seed pack from a store. We have 4 or 5 at least coming up right now. Those are the ones that are supposed to be huge and you can enter in contests. We'll see how those go. Here are some more little seedlings coming up. Again, here's a Dill's Atlantic giant. I believe those seeds to the left are watermelons. These are some more pumpkins. These are supposed to be a bluish color pumpkin. I believe they're called Jardance pumpkins. And these are some mini pumpkins. We maybe have 1 or 2 coming up there. Mini multicolor pumpkins. That is a Howden pumpkin. And these are 2 sugar babies. Those very, very small ones are from seeds. The rest, including these right here, these crimson sweets, are from plants that I transplanted. These are lots of sunflower seeds that are going to need to be thinned at some point. I'm just kind of seeing what they do right now, and we'll go from there. I believe these are probably some zinnias. We'll see. There's some morning glories coming up in the back of some of these, so theoretically they could vine up. These right here, I believe again are Shasta daisies and maybe some black-eyed Susans in there as well. Here on the opposite side, we have some more tiger lilies. These are some snapdragons, mixed heirloom right here, planted from seeds. They grow very slowly. We'll see how they do. Tetra mix. These are some more cosmos. And these are some double snapdragons again out here. Those little tiny ones. That one in the back is a morning glory. We'll see how those do. They're not coming out quite as thick, but there are a few, so we'll see. Some more snapdragon seeds. Those right there. I believe they're mixed color. Again, you can see some morning glories that will vine. Uh-oh, we have some weeds in here that I accidentally threw on top of these. But here are some more snapdragons underneath those weeds. I believe these are purple ones. And these little solar lights I got from the dollar store, I really like them. There's another little guy, some Shasta daisies. Hopefully the deer don't bother these things, but we'll see. Some more cosmos right there. And again, I planted some marigolds outside of here. Those leafy ones are cosmos. I believe the other ones are probably zinnias. Again, at some point I just started throwing some seeds down. Another Shasta daisy. There are some poppies back there that may be growing from seeds, to be determined. And just still an assortment of cosmos and zinnias, and we'll see what comes up. Right here, this little row right here is a packet of seeds from Disney World that you get from completing a food challenge thing at Epcot. Zinnias, cosmos, this very cute sign that my sister bought me a few years ago. I believe right here to the right are some baby's breath, and then again another hydrangea that needs some love. All right, transitioning over here. This is a work in progress. This is our fruit garden area, or to be fruit garden area soon. We've had this little grape row for I think at least a few years now. It's kind of fenced in. It's one row. There's a blackberry bush in the back. It's quite hard to get to pick the blackberries and harvest the grapes and everything. So we're thinking of kind of cutting that inner wall of the blackberry grape area off and then extending it out to the left here towards the vegetable garden and closing it in as its own separate garden for a fruit garden area. Here is the start of our strawberry patch. These were all just planted mostly this week, really. Maybe a couple of them were planted about a week ago. It's doing okay. Nothing to write home about, but they were just planted. We'll see how they do. Hopefully, once we get the fence on them, they'll be a little bit more protected as well. Some various varieties of strawberries. Hopefully, next year it looks just as good as the other strawberry patch, but we'll see. We're just trying to fence it off the best we can for now, and then we'll go from there. All right, here are our blueberry rows. There are about 1.5 rows of blueberries right now. This is the first one, Hybrid Sweetheart. We have a lot of these. I think they're just really the easiest to find. This is a legacy. These were all planted this year within the past month for the most part. This is a Hannah's Choice blueberry. Another sweetheart. Hopefully we like these. This one has some blueberry fruits on it. Here is an Elizabeth blueberry. Few blueberries on it. Another sweetheart. And another sweetheart. This is called a bonus blueberry bush. The description said it had huge berries, so we'll see. This is a Toro. This is probably our best looking one right now. Has lots of blueberries on it. Hopefully the deer don't get them before we do. This is a pink icing blueberry bush. It's supposed to have very unique foliage and turn really cool colors, which it looks like it is so far. This is a jelly bean blueberry bush. The berries are supposed to taste like blueberry jelly. So we'll see. Hopefully that sounds really good. This is a blueberry bush and another blueberry bush, which we do not know what type they are, probably sweetheart based on our trend. This is a Northland blueberry. Has a few. A Jersey blueberry, just planted a couple days ago, and an Elliott blueberry, also just planted. It has a few blueberries right on the tip of this branch. All right, and let's start walking over to our peach tree. You can see our pink shed. This was just put up last year. We're planning on painting the deck of it this year. And then as we walk to this peach tree, this is a semi-dwarf peach tree. It is called a contender type peach tree. So we'll see how that goes. Let's see if the deer let it live long enough. We'll see. It was actually half off, so it was $11 at Home Depot, which I think is a really good price. So if the deer eat it, not too much lost. As a bonus, these are my mom's flower gardens, which we can walk by pretty quickly. This is her third garden, her newest garden. It is a beach themed garden, as you can tell from the flamingos. It's a very beautiful fountain. And then she has some mermaids and special mention for these very pretty snapdragons. They're pink and white. And then she has some zinnia seeds back there. She has hibiscus kind of all around the outside of her garden in those outside flower beds. If you noticed those other small green plants by the blueberries, those were all rows of hibiscus, which we are working on moving. There are still some over there, which will slowly move as we get our fruit garden set up. That white tree we just saw was a mock orange, very pretty, smells very good. This blood butterfly here, we are going to paint that this year. So here's the before look at it. Our middle garden's kind of a cute, pretty garden. A pretty bumblebee there. This white horse head. We've been looking for another one, so if anybody knows where we can get one, let us know. Now, this is her third garden. We call it her monastery slash sometimes creepy garden. There's some keys. Some of her statues are a little scary. We have a couple statues on the outside. Oh, her angel fell over. And walking in, a cute Jesus statue with some very pretty zinnias around him. Her gardens are 99% flowers, whereas mine are the vegetable and fruit gardens. Here's some of her statues. We'll have to do a closer look someday just to get all of the details. There's a few of her statues. Some of them are very creepy close up, but we love them. There's a crow. Some more birds. And she has roses along the sides. Another scary angel statue. That's Charlie back there behind the garden, watching over the garden. And another angel statue. And that's her flower gardens. And here, just to finish up, is a quick look at what my gardens looked like it last year. This is a picture of my vegetable garden from November 2024 when my dad was flattening out the dirt. So, pretty much nothing there at that time. This all used to just be a big open field. This is March 2025. As you can see, there's a few posts in on the sides. Everything's flattened out very nicely. And then coming into the next picture here, this is where the fence got put up. My dad did all of this by hand for me last year. This is the fence. So 3 horizontal boards. As you can see, the flower gardens, the boxes on the outside were not there yet. Those just got put in this year. And then we also have a wire fence attached as well, just to keep all of the animals out here. And this is where he started putting the boxes in. There are about, I believe, 5 boxes on each side, and then that long vertical box going up the left side there. And then on the right is where my potatoes go. And here is a picture from last year, April 5th, 2025, where things were pretty much ready. This was before all of the dirt got put into the boxes, but this was pretty much what it looked like when I started planting last year. So we'll see how this year goes. See ya in a few weeks. Thanks. Bye.